I'm Anil Kumar. Let me thank all the viewers and subscribers, and especially my students, for watching these videos and posting excellent questions. In this series, I'm going to solve a test paper from one of my students. It is based on linear equations. We'll actually take all the questions from this test paper, and I'm going to add some additional word problems to make it more interesting and useful. Feel free to write your comments and share your views at the end of this video. You can always, in between, pause the video, answer these questions yourself, and then check with my solutions. So now let's take the solutions one by one. Here is question number 1. Which mathematical operations are needed to solve the linear equation y over 8 minus 2 equals to 12, right? So 4 options are given. So what will you do? You have to add 2 and multiply by 8, right? So addition and multiplication is the right option. So B is the right option. Clear? Question number 2. Solve, if applicable, write the rational answer in reduced fraction form. So one of the equations is m over 4 equals to minus 9. We just cross multiply and you get m equals to minus 9 times 4. So that gives you m equals to minus 36. For the second equation, which is 6k plus 25 equals to minus 7, we'll take away 25 first. So we get 6k equals to minus 7 minus 25, right? Which is equal to minus of 7 and 5, 12 to 1. So we get 32, 6k, right? Now we can divide by 6. So k equals to minus 32 over 6. Both can be divided by 2. So we get 16 over 3 as the value of k. Clear? So that is how we can leave this here in the reduced fractional form, right, in rational answers. Question number 3. Identify the mistakes made in the solution. So that's a communication question. 4d minus 13 equals to 20. 4d over 4 minus 13 equals to 20 over 4. d minus 13 equals to 5. d equals to 5 minus 13. d equals to minus 8. So what are the mistakes here? Well, definitely here we have a mistake, correct? So in this statement, when you're dividing by 4, all terms should be divided by 4. That is definitely a mistake. So in that case, what we get here is 4d over 4 minus 13 over 4, right, equals to 20 over 4, correct? So that should have been like this. Another mistake which has been done here is that basically to get rid of minus 13, you should have added 13, right? So in this case, it should have been plus 13 and not minus 13, correct? Anyway, because of these two mistakes, well, the very first one, the answer is definitely wrong. If you need to provide the correct solution, then you could proceed from here and you could say, well, this is in fact there was no need to do this step altogether. So if you have to really follow the correct solution, you should have done what? In that case, you should have taken 13 to the right side, so you get 4d equals to 20 plus 13. So that means 4d is equals to 33 and d equals to 33 over 4, correct? So that will provide you with the right solution. You could also continue with this step forward, and from here you could write d equals to 20 over 4 plus 13 over 4, which is same as 33 over 4, right? So both are kind of same things. Perfect. The question really is to identify the mistakes. So these are the two mistakes in the provided solution. Perfect. Now let's take the next question. Question 4a. Solve, if applicable, write the rational answer in reduced fractional form. Now in this test paper, you are basically writing all the answers in rational numbers. Okay. So to solve this equation, let's combine the like terms. 3y minus 5 plus 6y equals to 22 plus 4y minus 7. 3y plus 6y is 9y, so we get 9y minus 5 equals to 22 minus 7 is 15 plus 4y. Now we can take the variables on the left side, so we get 9y minus 4y equals to constants to the right side, 15 plus 5. 9 minus 4 is 5, so 5y equals to 20. So y equals to 20 divided by 5. So we get our solution as y equals to 4, right? So that is how you're going to solve it. Let's take the next example, question 4b. Solve, if applicable, write rational answers in reduced fractional form. Now you can always pause the video, solve the questions yourself, and then look into my solutions. Well, the left side, let's keep it as it is. On the right side, we are going to expand. So we'll apply the distributive property, multiplying by the number outside, both the terms, right? So we get 3 times 2e as 6e minus 3 times 5 as 15. Here you got to multiply by minus 5. So we get minus 5e, and minus makes it plus 20, correct? So we get 10e minus 1 equals 2. Combine the like terms. 6e minus 5e is just e. Minus 15 plus 20 is plus 5. Now bring variables to the left side. So 10e minus e equals to 5 plus 1. So we get 9e equals to 6. So this is e equals to 6. So e is 6 over 9. Dividing both by 3, we get 2 over 3, right? So we have our answer, which is e equals to 2 over 3. Clear? Now let's take question number 5a. So here we have the equation. Let me write it slightly bigger as 22 plus c over minus 3 equals to minus 6. We can actually cross multiply and easily solve this, right? So this is a technique. Whenever you have fractions like this, like kind of ratios, cross multiply, okay? So that really means you could just multiply this with the term on the right side. So we get 22 plus c equals to minus 6 times minus 3, right? So we get 22 plus c equals to minus is plus, and 6 times 3 is 18. C is equals to 18 minus 22. So we get C equals to negative 4, right? So that becomes the solution. Let's take the next question, which is question number 5b. I'd like you to copy the question, solve it, and then look into my suggestions. Now let's rewrite this question slightly bigger and then try to solve it. So we have 2k plus 3 divided by 5 minus 3k minus 4 over 2 equals to minus 7. Now as you can see, the common denominator is 10, right? So what we have is lowest common denominator is equal to 10. So we could multiply each term by 10. Correct? Multiply each term by 10. So what really happens is something like this. So we have 2k plus 3 over 5 minus, we have 3k minus 4 over 2 equals to minus 7. So when I multiply by 10 like this, right, 10, so this also 10 times, this also times 10, correct? So I have multiplied each term by 10. So what really happens is that it's easier to simplify. Denominator is totally gone. 5 goes 2 times, here 2 goes 5 times, correct? So you could actually write this as 2 times 2k plus 3 minus 5 times 3k minus 4 equals to minus 70. Is that clear to you, right? So what we get is a straight linear equation without fractions, correct? Open the brackets now. So we get 4k plus 6 minus 15k plus 20 minus and minus, right? So don't forget that. Take the numbers to the right side, combine the variables. So 4k, let me write down like this only now, and take the numbers on the right side. So it becomes minus 6 plus 15. Clear? 4k minus 15k is minus 11k equals to, well, it is minus 76, and from that take away, 15, the answer is negative. 6 take away 5 is 1, and 7 take away 1 is 6. Is that clear to you, right? So that's what we will get, right? So 76, you could do 76 minus 15, so which will be 61, okay? So k is equal to what? So we'll just divide 61 by, let's write down our answer on the right side. So we get minus 11k equals to minus 61, k equals to 61 over 11, right? Both minus minus cancel, correct? So that becomes your answer in mixed numbers, right? So normally we are expecting rational form, so this is perfectly fine. Now let's look into the next example. Question number 6, we have two parts here. We need to isolate the variable, right? So let's see how to isolate variables. A equals to BH over 2. We need to isolate H, so that's simple. A equals to half base into height, right? That's the area of a triangle. You could cross multiply, so we get 2A equals to B times H. Since we need to isolate H, we can divide by B, right? So 2A by B is equals to H, or H equals to 2A by B, correct? So that's it. On the right side, we have a slightly difficult question. You need to isolate C, which is kind of tricky. So how to do it? Well, first step we could do is we could write this as 1 over A minus 1 over B equals to 1 over C, right? Now here, let's take common denominator, which will be A times B, and then we get B minus A equals to 1 over C. Now we can do the reciprocal, and so we get AB over B minus A equals to C. So here, that is a way to isolate, correct? So what we get basically here is that C is equal to product of AB divided by their difference, right? In this case, we got height as equals to twice area divided by base, okay? Now, till now, we just did few simple equations and this time isolating variables. At the end of this, we have added some word problems from previous test papers and also this test paper, correct? Now here are 3 word problems. We'll have these solutions later. You can actually pause the video, answer these questions, and here's another one which has got 4 parts to it. I'd like you to pause the video, copy these questions, solve them, and then look into my solutions provided in this particular video. I hope the whole exercise really helps you a lot. Feel free to write your comments, share your views, and if you like, subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Don't forget to see the solutions of these word problems and some more. Thank you and all the best. So let's take question number 1 first. It says Anil and Ben are siblings and Ben is 52 centimeters shorter than Anil. So let us say that the height is A for Anil and B for Ben, right? Okay. In that case, the first statement is Anil and Ben are siblings and Ben is 52 centimeters shorter than Anil. That means B is Anil minus 52. Correct? 4 centimeter more than quadruple Ben's height is equal to triple Anil's height decreased by 28. Right? So this is a very tricky statement which we need to write in the form of an equation. It says 4 centimeter more than quadruple Ben's, means 4 times B and then 4 centimeter more than plus 4 is equal to triple Anil's height decreased by, so 3 times Anil's height decreased by 28. Do you see that part? So that is how we get two equations from the given conditions. Now we can substitute the value of B to find the value of A, which is Anil's height, and then we can find the value of B, right? So now we'll substitute 1 in 2. That is to say, the value of B, which is A minus 52 in the second equation. So we get 4 times A minus 52 plus 4 equals to 3A minus 28, right? Let's open the bracket. So we get 4A minus 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 5 is 20, plus 4 equals to 3A minus 28. Bringing A's together, 4A minus 3A equals to the numbers on the other side. So we get 208 on this side with a positive sign. We have minus 28 and minus 4. Right. 4A minus 3A is A. Right. So we get A equals to this difference. Right. So when you, let's use the calculator. So we have 208 minus 28 minus 4. Even otherwise, it is not a very difficult calculation, right? So we get 176 centimeters as the value of A, right? Now, since we know what A is, now we can find what B is, right? So we just calculated A as equal to 176 centimeters. B from our equation number 1 is A minus 52. We can write this as 176 minus 52. So that gives us 4 to 124 centimeters, correct? So our answer here is that how tall is each person? Anil is 176 centimeters tall and Ben is 124 centimeters tall. Is that clear? So that is how we are going to answer the very first question. Let's move on and take the next question. Question number 2. Aman, Bandana and Caroline were given a total of 2750 in scholarships. Caroline gets 3 times the amount Aman gets and Aman gets 250 less than Bandana. Determine an algebraic equation which models the problem. Solve your equation to find the amount received by each person. So let's define our variables, right? So amount to Aman is A, Bandana B, C for Caroline. Okay. So that makes relevant reference. Total is 2750. So we are saying A plus B plus C is 2750. Clear? Now, Caroline gets 3 times the amount Aman gets. So C is 3 times Aman. And Aman gets 250 less than Bandana. A is B minus 250. 250 less than B, okay? Determine an algebraic equation which models. So now we got all this, right? So we can substitute the value of C as 3A and A as B minus 250 in this equation, correct? So, and then we can find each value. So I'll prefer to write everything in terms of A, right? So we can write from here what B is equal to, right? So we can say A plus 250 is equal to B. So basically, I got everything in terms of A, right? C is 3A, A is A, and B is A plus 250. Does make sense to you, right? So now we'll rewrite our equation. We can say A plus B plus C is A plus B is A plus 250 plus C, which is 3A, is equal to 2750. Okay? So A, and 3A makes it 5A. So 5A is equal to 2750 minus 250, which is equal to, when you take away, 2500. So A is 2500 divided by 5, or 500. So A gets $500. Now let's write down each value, right? So we have A equals to $500 and B will be equal to 500 plus 250, which is in dollars $750. As far as C is concerned, 3 times 500, which is dollars $1,500, right? So that is how we will get the answer for this question. Is that clear? Now let's take the third question. 3. Radar detects an unidentified plane 6,000 kilometers away, approaching at 800 kilometers per hour. 15 minutes later, an interceptor plane was dispatched, traveling at 900 kilometers per hour. How long did the interceptor take to reach the approaching plane? So let's try to understand this situation. Right. So we have a distance here which is 6,000 kilometers. Right? So in this case, there is a plane which is approaching. So let's say this is the plane which is approaching, and it is approaching with the speed of 800 kilometers per hour. From the other side, rather from this side, interceptor is sent, whose speed is average 900 kilometers per hour. But this plane is dispatched 15 minutes later. So what does that mean? So when I say 15 minutes, that means 15 over 60 of an hour, or quarter of an hour, right? Which you can write this as 0.25 hours. Is that clear? So somewhere in between they are going to meet. We need to find that time, right? How long did the interceptor take? So this time, so let's say interceptor took t time, right? So let's say they meet here. So if interceptor travels for t, the other plane travels for t plus 0.25 hours, right? So all are in hours. Clear? And the total distance traveled is 6,000 kilometers. Is the concept clear, right? So basically, we have that the total distance equals to distance by the approaching plane plus distance traveled by interceptor. Clear? So the total distance is 6,000 kilometers. That is equal to distance traveled by approaching. The speed is 800 kilometers. Time is t plus 0.25, right? And for the interceptor, it travels for t hours. So it is 900 t. So that is how you get your equation. Clear? Now let's solve for time t. So we get 6,000. We could divide by, we'll do the calculation later. 800 t plus quarter of 800, that means 200, right? So 1/4 of 800 plus 900t, right? So we'll take away 200. So we get here 6000 minus 200 equal to 9 times 9 plus 8 is 1700t. So from here we can see what t is. So t is 6000 minus 200 divided by 17. Clear? So we get 6000 minus 200 equals to, divided by 17 equals to, so this time is in hours, right? So we get 300 what? So something is wrong. So sorry, 1700, not 17, 1700. So we have to divide by 100 also. So we get in decimals 3 hours 41, 3.41 hours, correct? So that is the time. Now let us convert this time to hours and minutes. So we have 3 hours, 0.41 hour. We can multiply this by, since we know 1 hour is 60 minutes, right? To get time in minutes. So we'll multiply 0.41 times 60, which is 24 let's say 25 minutes, okay. Right, so we just round it. So we have now time t for the interceptor will be 3 hours and 25 minutes. Is that clear to you? So that is how we can actually solve this question. The question here is, find the area of a regular hexagon with perimeter of 60 centimeters. So regular hexagon means all sides are equal, and hexagon means 6 sides, right? So there are 6 sides, so that is my rough sketch of a hexagon. We are given that the perimeter of this hexagon is 60 centimeter. Let's say perimeter P equals to 60 centimeter. If each side is A units long, then A will be 60 divided by 6, which is 10 centimeters, right? So length of each side is 10 centimeter, correct? Now, since we need to find the area, what we are going to do is to make triangles, right? So if you make triangles in a hexagon, you actually get 6 triangles. So we have 6 triangles. Let's find area of one triangle. Now, as far as the hexagon is concerned, what is the internal angle? Each angle here is, total angle inside. I should write total interior angle. Let me write interior in bracket, is in a hexagon 180 times 6 minus 2, right? Which is equal to 180 times 4, right? So each angle is how much? Each angle is 180 times 4 divided by 6. So that gives you, so that goes 2 times, this is 3 times, and that goes 60, right? So it gives you 120. So each angle is 120. Right? So each angle here is 120. So half of angle will be how much? So in a triangle, these are equal angles, right? Since we have the same sides, all these sides are equal. Therefore, each angle here in a triangle is 60 degrees. Correct? So what we have here is that we have 6 triangles. So in a hexagon, we have 6 equilateral triangles. Clear? Now, in our case, let me just draw one of these triangles here separately. So, in our case, we have a triangle here whose side length is 10. Each side is 10. So, this is also equals all at 10 units long. To find the area, we need to basically find the height, h. Now, here we know that this is 10, the whole is 10. So, the half of 10 will be 5. Correct? So, using Pythagorean theorem, we can write that height square is equal to 10 square minus 5 square. Correct? This is a shorter side, hypotenuse square minus the base square. So, we are looking into this particular triangle. So, that is, we get height square equals to 100 minus 25, which is 75. Correct? So, height is square root of 75. 75 gives you 3 times 25, correct? So height is 25 comes outside the bracket, 5 square root 3. So we get the height. So therefore, area of triangle, area of each triangle is half base times height. So in this case, it is equals to half, base being 10 and height being 5 square root 3. So that is area of each triangle, correct? Or you can divide and write this as 25 square root 3. Right? So when you divide this, it gets cancelled by 5. 5 times 5 is 25 square root 3. Now what is the area of hexagon? Area of hexagon will be 6 triangles, right? 6 times 25 square root 3. Correct? So which is 150 square root 3 unit square. Okay? So that is how we get the area of hexagon for the given question, right? So I hope the steps are absolutely clear. Feel free to write your comment, share your views. Now what you could do is you could derive a general formula. So the question for you is derive a general formula for perimeter equals to 6 times A, right? So where A is each side. Is that okay? So if I have, instead of A is 10, we got this formula. Half of 10 is 5. 5 square root 3 is our answer, right? So you could have a general formula for this particular question. I hope that makes sense. The question here is, in a right triangle, the shortest side is a third of the length of the second shortest side. The area of the triangle is 216 meters square. What are the 3 side lengths of the right triangle? So let's sketch one. We are given that shortest side is 1/3. So we can say if one side is x, the other one is 3 times x, correct? So the shortest is 1/3. So we can say that let the second shortest side be 3x. In that case, shortest side will be 1/3 of this, which is x, correct? So that is how we have written. Now this is a right triangle. We are given the area is 216. Given area equals to 216 meters square. Now 216 area should be equals to half of base times height, which is 3x times x, right? So that is the formula for area. So area is half of base times height. So we wrote area equals to half base times height. So base is 3x, height is x. So we got it. Now we need to solve for x. So we get 216 equals to 3 over 2x square. We can cross multiply, so we get 2 over 3 times 216 equals to x square, correct? Now 3 goes 72, so we get 144 equals to x square. So that gives you that square root of 144 is equal to x, and this is 12, right? So we get the value of x as equal to 12. So 3 times x will be 3 times 12, which is equal to 36. We need to find all the three sides, right? So the hypotenuse h is how much? We'll use the Pythagorean theorem to find this length. So h square is equal to square of these two. Now these sides are 36 and 12, correct? So we can write h square is 12 square plus 36 square, correct? Now, or h is equal to square root of, you can actually 3 square, we can actually do it like this. 12 square we can take common, right? 1 plus, this is 12 times 3, 3 square, right? Or just use calculator. So we get 12 outside and 9 plus 1 is 10. That is the hypotenuse. Or you could use the calculator, which is 12 square plus 36 square, right? Oh, sorry. Which is 12 square plus 36 square, and then square root this number, right? So we'll do square root of our answer is equal to 12 square root 10, right? If you want decimal value, it is 37.94. You can approximate this to 38. Is that okay? Units being meters. So we get our answer. The third side hypotenuse is equal to, exact value is 12 square root 10, and the units here are meters. Clear? So that is how we can actually solve this question. In this video, I'm going to share with you a very important question from previous test paper. Let us see how to answer such questions. The Harwood step test is a method used to assess cardiorespiratory fitness. It is based on heart rate recovery of a person who is instructed to step up and down on a box or a step for several minutes or until exhaustion. Following this step session, the person immediately sits down and the number of heartbeats is measured over a 30-second period on 3 separate occasions. Formula to score the test is F equals to 100D divided by 2 times A plus B plus C, where F is the fitness index, D is the duration of step exercise in seconds, and A, B, and C are the 3 measurements of heartbeats in a 30-second period. Now, based on this information, we have 4 questions here. We are going to take these questions one by one, answer them. The very first is determine the fitness rating of a person who performs the test for 3 minutes and their heartbeat measurements are 47, 45 and 44. Well, some more information about the question is given here. The rating F which we are calculating, if it is greater than 90, then the condition is excellent. If it is between 80 to 89, it is good. For high average, the value should be between 65 and 79. For low average, it is 55 to 64. And if the value of F is less than 55, then it is poor. Okay. So that is the additional information which may not be required in the questions which I have selected. Let us see how to answer the very first question, and then we'll take up the other three. So we are basically given a formula for fitness F equals to 100D over 2 times A plus B plus C, where F is the fitness index, D is duration of the step exercise in seconds. So the unit for D is in seconds. A, B and C are the 3 measurements of the heartbeats in 30-second period. So part A was determine the fitness rating, that is F, of a person who performs the test for 3 minutes and their heartbeat measurements are 47, 45 and 44. So basically we need to find what F is. We know what D is. D is 3 minutes. D should be converted to seconds, so we'll multiply this by 60 to get 180 seconds, correct? As far as A, B, C are concerned, the values are 47, 45 and 44. So we can write A as 47, B as 45 and C as equal to 44 to calculate the value of F, right? Now it is a simple substitution into the formula to calculate. So it is 100 times 180 divided by 2 times sum of these 3, which is 47 plus 45 plus 44, correct? So you can do the calculation. We need to multiply 100 by 180 and divide this by, let me write in brackets, 2 times within brackets 47 plus 45 plus 44, 2 brackets close, equals to. So the decimal equivalent is 66.17. Right, so approximately 66. Right. So F value is 66, which is a high average. Okay, anyway, we just want to find the value of F, which is 66 in this particular case, right? Now let's look into part B. In part B, the question is to rearrange the formula for D. So we need to rearrange the formula for D, and then in C, we'll calculate D, right? So to rearrange, we'll actually cross multiply. We are given F is equals to 100D divided by 2 times A plus B plus C, right? So we can actually simplify this first, which goes 50 times, and then we can cross multiply. So we get F times A plus B plus C divided by 50 equals to D, right? So in terms of D, we could write this formula as D is equal to F times sum of the 3 ratings divided by 50. Is that clear? So that becomes our rearranged formula to find the value of D. D is the time in seconds to do the exercise, right? Let's see part C. In part C, we have determined how long a person performs the test if the person has scored a fitness index of 92.6 and their heartbeat measurements are 59, 52, and 51. Well, you could use the formula which we just derived, which is D is equal to F times A plus B plus C divided by 50 to get the answer. This is one way to do it, right? So F is given to us as 92.6, and the three ratings are 59 plus 52 plus 51, right? Divided by 50. So let's calculate. 92.6 within brackets, 59 plus 52 plus 51 is equal to, divided by 50 is equal to, and the decimal equivalent is equal to 300. So 300 seconds, right? So it is in seconds. We can actually divide this by 60 to get time in minutes, which is 5 minutes, which is 300 by 60, which in minutes, right? Or 5 minutes. Is that clear? So the value of D is 5 minutes. Let's move on and take part D. So that is the last part. Formula is given to us, 100D divided by 2 times A plus B plus C. Part D is, in a 4-minute step exercise, a person scores a fitness index of 82.2. So fitness index is 82.2. The value of D is 4 minutes, which is 4 times 60 seconds or 240 seconds. Correct? If the first two heartbeat measurements are 52 and 49, so A is 52 and B is 49, determine the third heartbeat measurements, that is C, which we need to find. Correct? So that's the question for you. I would like you to now pause the video, answer the question, and then look into my suggestions. Well, let's substitute these values. So we get 82.2 equals to 100 times the value of D in seconds, you have to write 240, divided by 2 times A plus B plus C. Now A is 52 plus 49 plus C, right? C we need to find. Okay, now we can actually cross multiply, taking these terms to the left side. So we get 52 plus 49 plus C equals 2. All this 100 times 240 divided by 2 times 82.2. Right? Since we are using calculator, let us straight away find the decimal equivalent. We get 100 times 240 divided by, within brackets, 2 times 82.2. What we get here is 145.985. Correct? So value of C should be equal to all this. We can round this to 146, right? Minus 52 minus 49. Correct? So I'm rounding that to 146, and from that we'll take away 52 and then take away 49 to get our answer, which is 45. So the value of C is 45. Clear? So we get our answer as C equals to 45. So I hope it is absolutely clear how to rearrange the formula given in this question and then solve related questions. Feel free to write your comment, share your views, and if you like and subscribe to my videos, that'd be great. Thanks for watching and all the best.